What's up guys, Enzo here from Enzo's Geckos. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Today we're going to be doing a rack review because I get asked so often, what racks do you use? What's your hatching rack? What's that rack? What's this rack? Who should I buy a rack from? So today I'm going to be doing a review right here of this rack, my Cserpents hatchling rack. So I've got a 10 bin rack and an 18 bin rack. So I can hold up to 28 hatchlings if I do one hatchling per tub. Obviously I can double house if I need to, you know, just to house clutch mates together or something like that, but I don't think it'll come down to that this season. Anyway, I'm going to do a quick review of this rack right back here because I'm very pleased with how they are, and I think Cserpents is one of the best rack makers out there. Although I do have racks from other sources which I will cover in another video, but we're going to do this really quick. So this is the hatchling rack, the 10 tub one. It's a pretty solid rack. I'm missing one extra bin. But then here's also the 18 one, and that one is also fantastic. So I have this one hooked up to the 18 because I'll have to end up getting another thermostat if I want to run both of these racks together, but this is just stacked on the top even though it does control that one right there on the bottom. So if you can see right here, all this stuff, you're looking at this, you're like going, what's going on? This is not pretty looking. Well, honestly, it's not, because we had to do this ourselves. If you'll see here, it was originally for ball pythons or snakes, so it has back heat. If you guys can see, this heat tape right here, that's the back heat. So what it comes on is it's supposed to heat right here. So obviously this is available if you want belly heat, which is what we want for leopard geckos. So we did put belly heat on there on all the levels, and it actually works really well. The belly heat is perfectly fine for them. Just because I didn't like back heat, it's not really recommended for leopard geckos. I'm sure you can do it, but belly heat is always what I've done, and I think it works out the best. So then also, I do keep a thermometer right here just to check the temperature. So right now it's 84, so it's running a little bit cold. I do have to modify it every once in a while because it might be 84 degrees on the top shelf, but you know, 90 degrees in the middle one or whatever. So I do have to modify it a little bit, so this is why I just use a little thermometer. And then here's also the probe, which feeds back all the way up to the thermostat. So it feeds all the way to the thermostat, and I'm able to put that directly on the heat tape to keep the temperature good. But I'll probably have to warm it up quite a lot because you want it to be 90 degrees for the geckos. You want this, the plastic in here, at the very back where they're going to be spending a lot of their time. You want that to be 90 degrees because that's the temperature that they need. So essentially, if the heat tape is 90 degrees, it's not going to transfer all the way into the gecko's bin. So you need to have it a little bit warmer than 90 degrees. They do come with bins. So this is the bin that it comes with. It comes with these ones that fit perfectly into it. As you can see, I've drilled a lot of holes in some of mine, but I left a couple without any holes on them at all. So this is what it comes with. It'll come completely set, which I know some other rack companies don't include the bins, but Cserpents does, which is really great. But anyway, I just like to put holes in here, so I have a little wooden piece that I drill these into. So it's a good little layout. So I've got 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then I've got some more in the front just to make sure that there's doesn't get too humid in there. Another thing about Cserpents is their racks don't stack really well. I mean, these are both, you know, the same size bins. This one just has a little bit less room in it, but you know, it's kind of off center. It doesn't stack perfectly. It's kind of hanging over the back too. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it does kind of hang over the back. So they don't stack perfectly, which some other rack manufacturers make sure that their racks stack really well. I mean, obviously you can just keep them on here and just maybe, you know, use a screw to drill them together. Or something like that. So Cserpents does have amazing hatchling racks, but there are some pros and there are some cons to them, just like any other rack. Cserpents racks, when they arrive like this. They arrive all put together. So these racks just slide perfectly together, just boop, right in there. They're resting on the heat tape, don't interfere with it. It works really well, super easy access. So you can see they slide perfectly and they're super comfortable. Just to open and close, very simple, which is great. And their shipping does usually not take as much time as other companies like Animal Plastics. I know, I'm not positive because you know, I bought this from someone who owned ball pythons before me, and I bought this one from someone who owned leopard geckos. But I know that shipping is probably like a month or something with Cserpents racks, or a couple weeks, and I know that with other racks like Animal Plastics, it can be, I mean, I waited for mine about 3 months or so. Hope you guys enjoyed the quick video about Cserpents rack. Sorry I was talking a little bit fast. I just don't want to drag out the video for too long. I will be going over my Animal Plastics rack, which I also love. You know, I have no problem with any of the racks I've ever owned, and my homemade rack, because I want to go over, is it really worth it to make your own homemade rack, or is it much more worth it to buy a pre-made rack or a pre-assembled rack? Because, you know, obviously, you kind of want to choose the one that's most cost efficient. So But anyway, the Cserpents racks, they are amazing. They work really well. I've had no problems with them. Only problem with me was that the first one I had back heat on it, and I decided to just change it to belly heat because it's perfect for leopard geckos. So anyway, you know, Cserpents, great way to go. I obviously would recommend Cserpents to anybody who is looking to buy hatchling racks. I don't know about their adult racks. I'm sure they've got good ones too. But from my experience with hatchlings, it's everything you want in a rack. So I'll see you guys next time.